Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam, Shalawam. All right, let's get into this one. Share the live out real quick. Trying to call the sheep in. Bad sheep. Come in, come in. Hey man, it's wild out there in them. It's wild out there in that field, man. Bunch of wolves out there, and they hungry. They hungry. Hey, facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us this truth. All right, Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother, Yaramya Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah means he exists, he is. Yahawashi means he saves, he delivers, he is the salvation. And Kakadash means a spirit holy, a spirit that's set apart. Right? This lesson is entitled, Should You Be Teaching? Okay? Should you be teaching? Now, that's a very important question, man. Okay? It's an extremely important question. I saw my brother Adar was in this live I was just in. Trying to get the brother in. But, hey, I'm going to give about, as usual, 2 minutes for brothers and sisters to get up in here. I know the algorithm is not my best friend. So, hey, we'll start the lesson in about 2 minutes. Shalawam to everybody in here right now. Shalawam. September 30th, Day of Atonement, September 30th to 31st. Sunset to sunset. All right, evening to evening. Individual asks, what day is the Day of Atonement? All right. So September 30th. Do I follow any camp? Does that matter? I follow Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? But yes, I subscribe to the elders of Great Millstone. Alright? But I'm a strong believer of Mark 9 and 38. Alright? Every believer, every brother is not going to be in a camp. Okay? Meaning that you're not going to, but you're going to be preaching the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi most definitely. Okay. Oh, you was looking for one as well. All right. Well, with that being said, just really learn, grow, read, watch the elders on YouTube, and build yourself up. Get a good understanding of the doctrine, of the understanding. Hey, tune into the lives, right? It's a lot of brothers in Great Millstone that tune into the lives that actually come up on the lives and teach, so you're in the right live if you was looking for, the truth, man. All right, at the end of the day. Okay, what are my thoughts on women wearing pants? So we not going to be over righteous. We understand that we're in captivity. Okay, so, like when I came into the truth, I didn't tell my wife to throw away her pants. No. All right. Now, what did I do, though? I know better, so I do better. So I had her buy more dresses. You understand? But I'm not going to get mad at her if she's wearing pants. Okay? Understanding some, hey, let's say it's super cold outside. She put on some pants, whatever. All right? I'm not going to have her put on a dress. It's 30 degrees outside, right? So you got a lot of Israelites that are extremely over-righteous in certain matters, man. And that's why you got to be careful out here, all right? It's using wisdom, applying wisdom, okay? So that's my stance on that, okay? But you going to have some Israelites out here that be like, nah, put on a dress, yeah, and they're just not wise, man, all right? All right. So once again, this lesson will be entitled, Should You Be Teaching? And we're about to begin it. I'm going to give about 1 more minute, and then we will begin the lesson. If you're taking notes, get your notebook, get your phone or whatever. Write these scriptures down. All right. And hope you get fed, man. Should you be teaching? Now, I was just in a live. Funny, I always say that sometimes. I was just in a live, man. And this dude, Salvation for Israel, or his other name is Abri or Abur, whatever. And he was teaching. And I had already caught him because I was already listening to him. I was already listening to him in the background. And the brother Adar was in there as well. I don't know if the brother Adar in here right now. Nah. But I'm like, damn, the brother Adar was just in there with me. I thought he was going to come over here. All right. He's probably busy or something. But anyway, he was in there with me. He was in the comments. And they kept butchering my name, things of that nature, whatever. Not a big deal, but I was just clowning them because of that. And then I asked him, because I already knew. I said, how you say Judah in Hebrew? You know what he said? He said, Yehuda. I was like, yeah, man. Nah. And he kept muting my mic, telling me to shut up. Just said, pronounce it. I was trying to give him the proper breakdown of the understanding when she named him. When she named Judah. All right? But, nah, couldn't let me get through. So, it's that type of spirit. You got to watch out for these guys, man. If you can't teach with patience, you can't humble down, you can't listen, you can't actually take in that you're wrong, and you just boom, boom, boom. Just because you got a fucking mute button don't mean that you're doing something. All right? Any bozo on TikTok can mute somebody or block somebody. All right? It's whatever. That doesn't mean anything. Actually being able to listen and learn is a major trait, man, that a lot of Israel lacks. They don't possess. Okay? So let's go. Let's go to we could get the Hebrews. But I say let's hit it from the women's point of view first. Okay? Because the entire lesson is entitled, Should You Be Teaching? Now we're going to go through women and men. So women, should you be teaching? Okay? Let's read about it. All right? This is Titus 2:1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior, as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. That who they must teach, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of power be not blasphemed. All right? So, women, you want to teach, okay? In that capacity, who must you teach? Young women, older women. We talking about older women teaching younger women. Does that mean that they're going to start a TikTok live? Start a YouTube live? No. They're not going to do that. They're not going to be moving in that type of way. Okay? As the brother said, they to teach young women to be better women, not prophets. So how an older woman would tell you to mind your man, to listen to your man, to, girl, make sure you doing this and doing that. All right? Taking care of that man, give him a back rub when he get home, whatever it be. An older woman is going to tell you that through experience, from learning. She done learned the word. She done learned. She's been in this thing. She knows how to treat her man. She knows how to be a keeper at home. I'm sure, bro, a older woman, 50 years old, 60 years old, she knows how to wash clothes better than me. Okay, that's not my specialty. That's not my expertise. I wash, but I still put the colors in with the whites, bro. That's me. Okay? So, an older woman gonna know how to wash clothes better than me. So she must teach younger women. Okay? Look what the brother said. Grandmothers used to say, what you won't do for your husband, another woman will. And that's a fact. So for you women, you better take that. You better take that and run with it. Hey, I better do what I gotta make sure this man happy. All right? I gotta provide for this man. All right? It ain't gonna be too many times I'm telling him I'm tired. I don't want to do nothing tonight. But guess what? He gonna find somebody that wants to do something. As long as it's not adultery. All right? You understand? But a lot of you women don't want to hear that, man. Okay? I had another lesson I was planning, which I'm going to call it Folly in Israel. Matter of fact, you know what? I ain't even going to do it. I'm going to intermingle that lesson with this lesson. All right? So let me go get this. I'm going to play this real quick. I just found this funny. Okay? But I'm going to just play it and we're going to talk about it. Our wives told us not to have too much fun on our boys' trip to Brazil. Your women ruling over you. Is that correct? Is that right? No. You, as the man, you decide these things. You can move and go freely as you please. Do I have to check in with my wife when I come home? No. Do I have to check it? Hey, babe, I'm leaving. Do I have to tell her that? No. Now, I give her a courtesy. I'll be like, hey, babe, I'm about to go to the store. You need anything? I give her that courtesy. Hey, I'm about to stop by this. You want me to get you anything? Boom, boom, boom. I give her that's that honor. You know what I'm saying? I give her that communication because communication is needed regardless in the brotherhood, in relationships, in general. That's why, hey, we did a lesson on music yesterday. What does music do? Music also helps your communication skills, right? So this is the thing about Esau. The more Esau got you on these phones, the more he got you on these phones, these laptops and things of that nature, it's taking away your communication skills. This is why, as you can see, let's look up another fact. I like stats, man. Let's look up another stat. Okay? Because stats is actually prophetic. The stats that's happening. Okay? What did this say? Yes, data indicates a decline in sexual activity among American adults, with the term sex recession. We in a sex recession. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That's crazy. We in a sex recession. Being used to describe this trend of lower sexual frequency and increased sexlessness. I didn't even know that was a word, my guy. Sexlessness across various hey, put some fruits, man. Across various demographics, including young adults and married couples. This decrease has been observed over several decades and is supported by studies showing fewer adults are having sex weekly compared to the 1990s. And what is that cause? What came in the 1990s? What came towards the end? In the early 2000s? Cell phones. What used to happen? You remember? Boy, I remember talking on a house phone. I remember talking on a house phone for hours. Talking to a female. You know? Learning how to talk. Not even saying nothing. Like, just breathing on the phone sometimes. We young, goofy. Right? But we was working out our social skills. Our communication skills. We was learning how to talk. You was learning how to talk to women. You was learning these things. Now, everything is on the internet. It's just like, share, comment, jump in a girl's DMs. Hey, you look good. Blah, blah. That shit is not game, bro. That's not helping you. So everything is on a screen now. Versus back in the day, man, you would go to the mall and you would have to go up to girls and try to get their numbers. Things of that nature. I ain't going up to no girl asking her for her Instagram. No, I'm trying to get them digits. All right? So those social skills have declined. And with social skills declining, you have a sex recession. Yo, this hilarious to me, bro. I'm sorry. That's funny. The brother said having to get off the internet to get on the phone. Exactly. You remember that dial up? Yeah. So we are in and that's what Esau wants to drive you into. Okay? A cyberpunk society. Let's get that. Cyberpunk. And not the video game. Cyberpunk is a genre of science fiction set in a lawless subculture of an oppressive society dominated by computer technology. Okay? So that's what Esau is trying to drive you into. More social. It's going to get to the point where you ain't talked to nobody in weeks. All you did was text. You know, that's all you did. They want everybody to talk through the C-hips, through the neural links. Okay? They don't want you to talk face to face. That's why, man, what was we talking about? Man, you're going to have sex robots, things of that nature. And it's going to simulate the real thing. Because what does people, go back. What does a sex recession help with? Anybody thinking? You thinking? What does a sex recession help with? I'm asking a question. What does a sex recession help with? There we go. Exactly. The brother Nakaf got it. Yeah, exactly. It stops kids. Population control. Let's pin that one. Okay? All of those answers is correct... Okay? helps with restoration. No, it don't help with no restoration. Yeah, you got to get in the same mind, bro. Okay, everybody else got it right. More control for the top elites. Exactly. Go back to the Georgia Guidestones. What did they want to make? They wanted to bring Earth's population to 500 million. All right. So they do this through pestilence. They do this through famines. They do this through sickness, through wars. Okay. Definitely a WW3 would bring upon that population control quickly. Now you add that into everybody that took the C-hip. Now they can't produce. All right. So they can't have no more babies. You add that with taking away food stamps, WIC, SNAP, EBT, taking all that stuff. Now you can't support the babies. All right. So it's leading people to not want to have babies. So you're thinking more about dropping your seed in a female. All right. If you can even drop a seed, because if you took that C-hip, then it's most likely that you can't drop a seed. Or if your seed goes, it's going to be tainted. All right. So add that also with the cell phones, where individuals are in a sex recession. You're talking less. Man, population control at its max. You know? And they're going to keep adding on layers and layers and layers to it. Okay? But that's why we go back to, let's read it one more time. The aged woman, likewise, that they be in behavior and becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving them much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. An old woman gonna tell you, hey, you better make that man happy. An old woman gonna tell you, if you know what I mean, you better make that man happy. That man protecting, he providing, he bringing discipline, he bringing structure, he bringing order. All right, you better make that man happy, man. Okay? But you over here complaining about washing some dishes. You over here complaining about washing clothes, folding clothes. There should be no complaints in those things. Because what that man is providing, that's your God. That's your key to the kingdom, sister. You understand that? Dang. Oh, babe, I don't like when you wear them. I don't like them wigs. I don't like them extensions. I'm going to stop doing that. Anything for you. That's the attitude. Anything for you. Anything for you. You need to be like that girl Eddie Murphy got from Africa before she came to America. All right, you need to be like that. Not don't buy me Reeboks no more. You need to be like the one before. Do anything for you. And I'm telling you, that is a spirit that's on the planet that's not in America. When I was in Japan, bro, dealing with Ammonite women have a submissive spirit, especially when they dealing with a real man. All right? And I wasn't even a real man then. I was just a young buck, just acting stupid. You know? But I wasn't no simp. So it's like something they're not used to. You're going to talk to them a certain way. You're going to deal with them a certain way. We got to get that Genesis 3:16. So women they want that. Even though society may push on them to get a man you can control and things of that nature, they don't want that. They'll take advantage of that. All right? But honestly, that's not what they need. That's not how the Father created this society. He created men to rule over women. All right? Eve worried more about her happiness. She think the key to life is her happiness. Exactly. Man, go back to that lesson. I had shared it in the chat a couple weeks back. Maybe I could find it. But chick was talking about she left her husband because she had a spiritual awakening. I'm like, that's a demon. Let me see. I'm going to look for it real quick because it's a perfect example. And then we got to get that Genesis 3 and 16. All right. Dang, where this video at, man? Whatever, I don't see it. But brothers know what I'm talking about. She said she left her husband because she had a spiritual awakening. If any of you women ever feel that, that's not a spiritual awakening, all right? A spiritual awakening will not cause you to leave your husband. You know? Oh, yeah, the brother Nakaf did a video on it. Well, shoot, let me go to your page and let me see if I can find it. Brother Nakaf did a video on it. Yeah, boo, you right here. Did you let it play? Oh, we just played the beginning then.
I want to start by giving all honor, all glory, all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barak, peace and blessings to the elect, and the to the elders, prophets, and teachers who rule well. Tell us this one just in truth. Ask that you bear with me, Ahtham. I'm starting to come down with a cold, and I have a really sore throat. I'm trying to get through this. So this was shared in the chat, Master Ahtham. And this is very vexing because this is literally the thoughts of the average woman. Okay?
Yeah, it was just photos. I forgot. It was just photos.
Understand the scripture who talk about being spiritually awake without understanding that the spirit's really not even dwelling with them. Now, this woman said, I asked my husband for a divorce after my spiritual awakening. Those two don't even go hand in hand. What the fuck spiritual awakening caused you to go and tell your husband you want a divorce unlawfully, right? Because it's not even a woman's position to even go and file for divorce. But if you do, then what does the scripture say? You have to remain unmarried, which we're going to grab that later.
And see, the spirit of Babylon is on these women, man. It's that independent-minded spirit. And this is because what? Because they don't got the aged women to teach them good things. They don't have the aged women to teach them good things. So they're just moving on their own mind. Their Jeremiah 17 and 9 is messing them up. You know what I'm saying? Anything that jumps in their mind, they're thinking. They're like, well, bam, 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 you know, boom, boom, boom. All right? It's because demons are going to, believe it or not, demons are going to enter into your woman more. She's the weaker vessel. She's open. Right? Let's get that Genesis 3 and 16. Let's get the other precepts. And it reads, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So your will is to be under a man. Your desire is to be under your husband. 1 Timothy 2 and 15. Perfect. And it reads, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Now, last time I checked, you need a man to lay a seed for you to have a child. So that also implicates that she's going to be under a man. How do you continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety? That means you're listening to your man. All right? You're doing what verse 11 says. Let the women learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. Right? So going back to the title of the lesson, should you be teaching? Women, the answer is no and yes. Because no, you should not be teaching men. No, you should not be assembling a church, bringing individuals in alive. Because a church is where 2 or 3 or more are gathered for a public assembly. This is the church. 13 individuals in here. All right, gathered in the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? In a public place. This is public, right? This is all public. All right? So it's a church. So a woman should not be leading this. Well, can we host lives, brother? No, hell no. You're asserting authority over a man. You're hosting. We had to check a chick, a little Topeka. Little ugly ass boy. Alright? Trying to rule over men. Every time we came in the live, what was it, Big Bear or whoever it was, she would mute us and block us and kick us. You're putting authority over men. You have authority over us. That's crazy. You got another dude on here, little baby Israelite, man. Nigga can't even wipe his own ass. He probably 2 weeks in the truth. He got women on his live that's moderators. His name is VA. What's his name? VA Skater or some shit. I went in the brother live trying to help him, but the women muted me and blocked me and kicked me. All right, so, hey, with that being said, hey, bro, I ain't coming back, bro. Because you can't even rule your fucking house. You got women in here talking and doing all this type of stuff that they don't supposed to do. So why would I even come and try to help you, man? All right? That goes to you brothers also, man. Jumping in women's DMs. Why the fuck you doing that? All right? The little Yanasha dude, he changed his name. And that's another thing.
But she's completely gone.
All right? You want to change your name and come back and you want to follow somebody. Okay? You, bro, take that shit off your name, bro. I done told you many times, bro. Just be Yanasha. Or you could have just been, really, Yahawashi Special Ops was not a good name because it implicates something military, But now you want to state GMS affiliate? Nobody? Stop seeking clout. That's why I said, stop, just fit in, stop trying to stand out. And this is why brothers get suspended. I don't know if y'all know, but brothers actually be getting suspended. Meaning brothers can't do lessons. Brothers be getting suspended, told not to do lessons for weeks or months. I know a couple brothers, man. And they told me about it. And I was like, damn, for real? Cause they messing up. They fucking up. They doing stuff they don't supposed to do. Cause so when Zaquan say, I'ma suspend you, he be playing, but that's real though. It's a sense of order. It's like getting thrown in the brig for brothers that was in the military. You get thrown in the brig or you get put on restriction. You know what I'm saying? You get hit with half times pay, stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So this is a military, right? This is a military. Okay? Yeah, the Jezebels. But hey, holy hands. I see that you saying shalom. All right, we're going to have to ask you, what name are you calling on? Because can't nobody just talk on my comment board. Okay? We ain't dealing with everybody. What names do you call on? If you even still here. And are you a woman or a man? Because if you a woman, you need to be quiet. You acting like a Jezebel. It ain't no shalom. It's shalom or shalawam. Hey, moderators, man, tighten up. Y'all should have checked that shit. All right. Yeah, exactly. If you get, you get kicked, you get rebuked, you get checked, you get corrected, are you still going to do the work? Are you still going to be studying? Are you still going to be studying and studious? Just because you get rebuked and corrected and things of that nature and told to chill back, that don't mean you're supposed to stop studying. No, you're supposed to come back harder, man. You're supposed to come back knowing more. You're supposed to watch more breakdowns. You're supposed to have more understanding. All right? A lot of individuals are getting sifted out, and it's showing. Just because you get rebuked don't mean you're not of the body. What you talking about? Okay? Yahawashi rebuked the disciples. Paul rebuked Peter. You gonna get rebuked. You better hope you do, to fix your flaws. I tell y'all, pray to fix your flaws. Pray to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi to fix your flaws, even the ones that you don't know about. Stuff that you don't want to admit to, you know, stuff that you didn't even know that was a sin that you do. All right. So let's keep going. Let's go to Isaiah 30 to the dub. And matter of fact, let's start at 18. And therefore will Yahawah wait that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For Yahawah is a power of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. That's a main thing you need to be focused on. Are you crying? Meaning, are you producing lessons? Are you crying? Sometimes I just sit in my car, bro. I just be like so mad. I hate it here. That's a form of crying. You know? When you be at work, this devil over you, and you don't want to do, you know, you hate your job. That's a form of crying. We are crying out. You might not say it out loud, but in your mind, in your secret place, you crying. You like, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, please. Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar. You know, so that's a form of crying. You vexed. You really want to get up out of here. If you don't have that type of, you know, understanding, if you don't got that type of characteristics, man, if you're not feeling that in your soul and you're comfortable in Babylon, then you're not in the right spirit, man. You might not be of the elect. Okay, if you like it here. I don't like it here. I don't want to be here. All right. Verse 20. And though Yahawah give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. So you're going to get that chastisement. You're going to go through it. You're going to get the bread. You're going to get the sweet and you're going to get the bitter. You're going to feel it both. You're going to taste it both. The sweet will taste better than the bitter. Yeah, but you still need that bitter. I like to eat honey, but I know I still need to eat my salad. You know, I need both. The honey is great for me, but the salad gonna purge out. All right? I need the avocado tea to cleanse me out, to drive parasites out of me. So you need that bitterness. The bitterness of Babylon is gonna drive those demons out of you. You're gonna hate this place. You'll never want to feel this again. That's how you should be feeling, man. You never want to be in this position ever again. Romans 8:22-23 from the brother endure all. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to with the redemption of our body. And you got some Jake, they was groaning, but they get complacent. They get caught up in the master's house. They start eating the master's food, you know, sleeping in the master guest bedroom, you know, master poking them and shit. They got used to it though. They don't think it's a sin anymore. They don't think it's an abomination. They start saying, Master, we got a nice house here, Master. Like, yes, we do, Toby. Yes, we do. Yeah, Master. Oh, you treat me good, Master. I do treat you good. You my favorite slave. That's their conversation with them. That's their relationship with the slave master. They no longer hate Esau. So they no longer groan. They used to groan, but they bent over. So now they don't get the whip. They get the sip. You understand? That's the wrong mindset to be in. Man, you want me to preach on the street, bro, but I got a good job, bro. I gotta, what if my boss see me out there preaching? Come on, man. I got a white picket fence. I got 2 cars. I got a wife. I got kids. I'm trying to send my kids to college. Man, fuck that. Ain't gonna be no college for your kids to go to. Ain't gonna be no job for your ass to go to. Everything is shutting down. But you still wanna rely on the white man. That's who you put your faith in. That's who you put your trust in. Judah, you made all these gods. Let them arise and save you. Jeremiah 2:28. Let them arise and save you, man. Let's read it. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee? Let them arise, if they can save thee in the time of thy trouble. For according to the number of thy cities are thy gods, O Judah. If you still calling on the name of Christ, you shouldn't be teaching. If your Hebrew is off, you shouldn't be teaching. All right? If you haven't got that what? Let's go. Let's go to Peter. Let's go to Pete. Wherefore, laying aside, because you ain't lay aside all malice and all guile, meaning deceit. It's deceit in your words, and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. It's levels, man. If so be you have tasted that the Lord is gracious. It's levels. My daughter's still sipping the milk. I give her some blueberry juice. I give her some grape juice. I give her some carrot juice. I give her all these type of things to give her a diverse type of balance, a diverse type of, meal and nutrients. But she's still sipping the milk. Okay? At the end of the day. So are you sipping the sincere milk? Do you have the name of the Most High? Do you have the name of the Son? Which those names is Yahawah and Yahawashi. And if you disagree, you can go research it. You can see how Yahuwah is off, because the U was created in the 1400s and started to be imprinted in the 16 and 1700s. So how is the name Yahuwah? If you see the origins of that a YT man gave you that. Jesus, a YT man, gave you that. Yahweh, a YT man, gave you that. Yeshua, a YT man, gave you that. So, it's impossible. It's impossible to move in man, I ain't gonna say it's impossible, because you can still move in wickedness knowing the truth. But just it's no, as Yahawashi said, it's no cover for their sin anymore, because he came. So it's no more cover for your sin. All right, the opportunity has been given unto you to repent, to convert, to call on the right names, the proper names, to get right, and to take it slow, man. Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So riches don't matter in the day of destruction, in the day of wrath. Righteousness is going to get you up out of here. Now, what is that? That's knowing the names. That's keeping the doctrine. That's moving correctly. That's moving properly. Not eating lobster, crab, shrimp, shellfish. Knowing your position as a man and knowing your position as a woman. All right? As a woman, you should not be teaching men. And if you a younger woman, you shouldn't be teaching in general. You just came in. You shouldn't be teaching nobody. Maybe your kids. Yeah, you trying to, if you don't have a man in the house. But if you have a man in the house, that man shall be teaching. Bro, I teach my kids. My wife don't teach my kids. The truth. I'm talking about the truth. She do what she do, but I teach them the truth. I set up that disciplinary structure for them. I have them watch this and watch that and do this and do that. I run the feast days. I blow the trumpet. Right? I like the incense. The incense. All right? I like the Palo Santo. I do the lessons, etc., etc. So know your position. Exactly, bro. And knowing your position in the faith. Some of you folks are 30-fold bros and think you 60 or 100-fold. Yeah, that's that Atlanta talk. Whatever that bro mean, that's real though. But for real, it's the measure of the spirit. Knowing your measure of the spirit, man. Knowing the faith that you got. All right? Stop trying to jump into an elder's position when you're not that. Is that anything less? No. It's actually humbling and it's honorable to walk in your position, bro. You know Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi didn't raise you up to lead all of Israel. No. Okay? You want Moses' position, but you can't handle that seat. You can't handle that position. You want to be Joshua, but you would fail. That's not for you. As the brother said, 30-fold bros, but you think you 60 or you 100. But you're not that. Now, how do you get to those levels? Guess what? By following and learning. Say this all the time, bro. To be a leader, you got to be a follower. To be a teacher, you got to be a student. You can't skip levels. It's different demons, different devils on new levels. So you trying to jump to level 15, but you ain't even fought the demon on level 5, level 6, and level 7. But you trying to jump up to level 15. Bro, you ain't got the armor for this. You ain't got the skills and the stats and the experience for that level yet. When you play a video game, do you try to go all the way to the end in the beginning? No, you don't have the abilities yet. You don't even know the controls, man. Exactly. In the RPGs, you gotta level up. Doesn't it feel good when you get towards the end of the game and you got the skills? You got the abilities? You got the weapons? Now, but understand this. Doesn't the environment increase with you? Right? Doesn't the enemies get stronger with you? But you know how to play now. You know how to operate. Your tactics, your strategies is good. You understand? So that experience is needed. Take the long road. Don't take the short road. Take the long road, man. All right. Let's keep it going. Got this one yesterday, but I got to bring it back out. Matter of fact, we're going to start up some. Luke 21:10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay? So all these things have to take place. Therefore, any bozo talking about rapture this, rapture that, I ain't even addressing that no more. We done did enough videos on it. It's pointless. Look at these guys, man. Have some discernment. They don't got the spirit. Okay? Let's keep it moving. Why are we wasting time here? Please, come on. Why are we wasting time? To be honest, I don't like wasting time. I don't got no time to waste. All right? But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So the rapture guy, all of them. Did that happen to you? Did you get delivered up to the governors? Did you get delivered up to the kings and the princes? The mayors? All right? Did you get touched? No. The brother Darashimoff always say, man, we have not resisted unto blood. Have you resisted unto blood? No. You ain't never spilt no blood for this truth, boy. Never. Come on, man. All right? And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Now, important, going back, for my name's sake. If you don't even got the name, the proper name, you still calling on a name that was beaten to your ancestors in the 1600s? And you thinking that's the name? All right. Let's look at it from this perspective. All right, let me get my stones, man. Okay, we're going to do a story. We're going to do a story here. Okay? This is the Northern Kingdom. All right? 1 second. This is the Northern Kingdom, right? This Esau. Northern Kingdom was far more larger than Esau. Cortez came 500 horses. You had millions of Northern Kingdom brothers. Okay? But what did they come with? Disease. They came with disease. They came with lies. They came with blasphemies. They came with false gods. But Northern Kingdom was already worshiping false gods. They was worshiping pyramids, the sun, the moon, animals, things of that nature. So it was already ordained for them to go down because they didn't worship their power. So Esau comes in, boom, right? Now, what does Esau do? Esau builds churches. They place altars. They build churches. They put up that cross. If you know anything about how colonization took place, they come, they unalive the men, they keep the women and the children, and then they put up religious buildings. That's how they take over. Then they brainwash the kids and they put that God in those kids. But you still want to call on the name of Jesus. Okay? Now, we got the Southern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom was already in America. All right? They came over here around 700 BC. Okay? So, around the 1600s, what's going on? We need slaves. We need, more workers that can work in these elements in the sun. All right? So, let's get them from Africa. So, boom. And not all the Southern Kingdom came from Africa. You got Southern Kingdom coming from Ireland, Scotland, Germany, Russia. Okay, I'm gonna do a lesson later on this week going into the blacks. It's gonna be a 3-part, or it might be more than that, because I found this documentary. It's beautiful. It got pictures and all of that, but it's showing you black Russians. It's showing you black Germans. It's showing you the 10 Moorish kings of Europe, things of that nature. All right, so understanding that they was gathering our people from a lot of different places. All right, but the main bulk came from West Africa. All right, so they came in, boom. Now, what's being beaten their backs? Jesus. They might have came over here speaking off-brand Hebrew. Kuta Kinte, right? Akan, all right, Yoruba, Igbo, things of that nature. They spoke off-brand Hebrew, but you get your name changed to Toby. So you get a different God. You're worshiping gods of wood and stone that your fathers did not know. So how could the name be Jesus? When the letter J was created in 1524, Jesus is Latin. It means earth, dirt. And then also on top of that, as I just showed you, it was beat into the backs of our people. It was beaten to the backs of the Southern Kingdom and the Northern Kingdom, man. But you still holding on to that. Like your people didn't die for this. And when we bring out the correct name, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you look at us like we stupid. Like we didn't never speak no other language other than English and Spanish. These are not our languages. Now let's prove that in the scriptures. This is Isaiah 28 and 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. This is why I would go to Jeremiah, then I would jump to Ezekiel, then I would jump to Isaiah, etc., etc. All right? Because the Spirit does not contradict. What's said in the New Testament is also said in the Old Testament. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people? So what is that? That's English. That's Spanish. Another tongue, stammering lips, ebonics, talking to you in a way you can understand. All right? Let's go to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. And this is verse 4. Salakia. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel. Who? The house of Israel, Salakia. And speak with my words unto them. So speak with my words. So going back to, should you be teaching? If you are not teaching from the Bible, you should not be teaching, bro. You just coming up with stuff on the spot. You just winging it. You like, well, I think that God meant this right there. God meant, no. What does the scripture say, bro? Just shut up. If you don't know what the scriptures say, if you're not trying to come from the word, honestly, bro, just shut up. You a false prophet. You speaking from your mind. Nobody wants to hear what you got to say. Nobody wants to hear what you got to say. Give me scripture. All right? For thou art not sent to a strange people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. Okay? So we wasn't meant to go to these other nations. We wasn't meant to go among the Moabites, the Chinese. I don't know Mandarin. We don't know Chinese. I don't know Japanese. We wasn't meant to do that. Now, if it's Israelites there, guess what? They going to get woke up somehow. All right? Yahawah will raise somebody up because he scattered us everywhere. But this is showing you that back then, the Hebrew tongue is what we spoke in. Now, we speak in another tongue with stammering lips, but we are still sent to our people. All right, let's get that. Let's get them precepts the brothers got. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of Yahawah and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So come out of these books. Come out of these books. All these books. All right? And it's really 80 books. If you go to the King James Version. 16:11. Okay? Right here. It's 80 books. Second Maccabees, this is the Apocrypha. First Esdras, the second Maccabees. Okay? At the end of the day. You said, whose image are we made in? The image. So let's go into that word image. This is what you need to understand. All right? Image means likeness, ways. Where do you find the likeness in the ways of the Father? You find it in the Torah. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. You find his ways, the things that he tells you to do. That's his words. That's how he wants you to do. So that's his likeness. So yeah, you're made in the image, but you might not keep the image because you don't want to be like him. You want to be like the beast. So go to Revelations. What does it say? All those that worship the image of the beast. Okay? Revelations 14 and let's go to 9. All right? And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. So that means you doing paganism. All right? You doing all this wickedness that America has taught you. That's the ways and the likeness. That's the image of the beast. The beast system is being set up. So if you still doing Christmas, Halloween, Easter, 4th of July, all that type of stuff, you're worshiping the image because none of that stuff is in the Bible. None of that stuff is in the Bible. All right? So it makes no sense. Furthermore, you go into the word image, into interlinear, and it shows you an image, figure, likeness, an image of the things, the heavenly things, used of the moral likeness of renewed men to power. Right? Go to the Strong's definition. Likeness, profile, statue, representation, resemblance, image. So you are supposed to resemble the Most High, Yahawah. But if you down here eating pork, how can you resemble the Most High? He don't eat pork. How you resemble the Father? How? You down here committing adultery? The Most High don't commit adultery. How do you resemble the Father? How are you in his likeness? So you was made in his image, which are the Israelites, the sons of God, but we went off. We started worshiping false gods. So we no longer worship his image. We worship the image of false gods. And those false gods are still with us today. This is why people do Christmas. This is why people do Valentine's Day, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. All right? All these type of things. Father's Day, Mother's Day. You know? Let's go to John 17-21, coming from the brother Kakuma. That they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. Exactly. So, being one with the Father and the Son, what does that mean? Okay? Am I one with the Father and the Son? Yes. Because I believe and I keep the image that they keep. Okay? To the best of my ability, Yahawah, I get that everlasting body. Now let's go to Philippians 2:5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahawashi. So that mind, the thoughts, the ways, the Holy Spirit that's in you is going to allow you to be one. It's going to allow you to move the same way. Right? So we ain't, man, you know, we going to do our best to live like Yahawashi lived when he was on this earth, man. Okay? And that goes with thinking, not being haste, not being a fool, not being foolish. Going back to the lesson. Who should be teaching? Or should you be teaching? If you're hasty, if you can't rule over your own spirit, if you just love jumping to conclusions, you can't hear brothers out, things of that nature, right? Then you should not be teaching because you don't have emotional control yet. All right? If you're teaching from emotions, you can't even talk to people in a civilized manner, you should not be teaching. This is Proverbs 1:16. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood, they lurk privately for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Don't teach from lasciviousness, which is greed. It goes back to, that cuss a Christian spirit out. Nah, man. We're not here just to cuss anybody out. That's not what we do. That's not what the ministry is talking about, bro. Yeah, man, you cuss them Edomites out, bro. Yeah, bro. Get them, bro. Man, shut up. You goofy ass jakes, man. Okay? Because that's not what the ministry is about. The ministry is about edifying, teaching, waking up the sheep, teaching them the correct way. Yeah, it may be some passion in certain instances. Okay, that happens. Sometimes stuff get heated. But at the end of the day, are you edifying? I see certain individuals on this app, that they have to wait for somebody to come up for them to even begin to teach. So you're teaching from a spirit of debate. You're full of debate. You can't just bring out a lesson. You gotta be going at somebody. You're not a teacher. You're a debater. And debating is a sin. All right? A lot of these guys going to find out. They debaters. They not teachers, man. This is Romans 1. And matter of fact, let's go up some. Okay, hey, matter of fact, I likes this. I likes this. Woo, woo. Man. We're going to start at 18. All right. For the wrath of power is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. So you know you're an Israelite. You know this truth. Okay, great. You know you tribe of Judah, tribe of Issachar, tribe of Naphtali, tribe of Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Asher. It's whatever. You know your tribe. You know you're supposed to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. You know you're supposed to keep the feast days. All right? But you do everything in unrighteousness. You don't truly care. You practice, but you preach, but you don't practice. That's the thing. You're a hearer of the word and not a doer. You say you're going to do this, but you don't. You say, oh, I'm about to do a lesson, but you won't. Keep it a buck with yourself, man. It don't matter what I think. Keep it a buck with yourself, bro. All right? Because that which may be known of power is manifest in them, for power have showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that, when they know power, they glorified him not as power. That goes with Yahawashi as well. You don't want to worship Yahawashi. You only want to worship the Father. You don't want to give honor and reverence to the one that's going to actually come and bring your salvation. He's sent to bring your salvation. Don't you know you're supposed to bow down and worship the King? But you're not going to bow down and that's crazy. So you're denying him. And you also denying the Father. Because the Father sent him. So he's the messenger. You're denying the messenger, which means you denying the message. How you gonna think you're gonna get in the kingdom, but you denied the messenger that told you to come to the kingdom? Yeah, I don't believe you, but I still believe. And man, shut up, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. 21. Because that when they knew power, they glorified him not as power, neither were thankful, but because became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Vain in their imaginations, which is pointless, unprofitable. You're void. It's no light in you. You have no understanding. All right, Shalawam. Okay? So you're vain in your mind. That means your mind, your heart is getting over you. Let's load Jeremiah real quick, and then let's get back to that. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So those vain imaginations are eating you up. That's what's taking place. All right? You talking about, man, you know, it's just one sin. The Father ain't going to unalive me for this one sin. But you're sinning willfully. And guess what? You may continue to go back to that one sin. And it may become a habit. So therefore, you're making Yahawashi sacrifice of no value. You get what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You got to fight this flesh. You may fall, but you got to fight hard as you can, man. Okay? You don't want your heart to be darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And professing themselves to be wise. You want, going back to what the brother said about some is 30, but they not 60 and they're not 100. How the brother said it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you professing yourself to be a wise man, but your actions say otherwise. How you a wise man? You know, when you always fucking up. You always messing up. You doing all this type of weirdness, this wickedness. You say you listen to the elders, but you don't. You say you want to be in this thing, but you won't. Because your mind has been given over to darkness. You can know the names, and this is a scary thing. You can know the names of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, but be rejected just that easy and be thrown into the lake of fire. All right? And that's what you need to understand. So get your intentions right. Make sure you did everything that you possibly could, bro. Look, this is a championship game. This is a championship game, and you're not giving it your all. You out on the court jogging? And we need sprints. We need sprints. But you out on the court jogging, man. Hey, pass me the ball. I'm not passing you the ball, bro. I'm in that Kobe mentality. You wasn't shooting in the gym with me. You didn't get up at 3 o'clock and was going in the gym working out for 2 hours, then going back, then coming to practice at 8 o'clock. You didn't do that. You wasn't doing that. You wasn't first in the gym, last to leave. You wasn't doing that with me. You was jogging during the game. Do you know? Hey, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi sees that. You jogging during the game. You think he ain't gonna judge you off that? How much do you love him? That should be the question that you ask yourself. How much do you love him? Because if you can't give your all during the game, you damn sure ain't gonna give your life. You talking about, yeah, man, you know, shoot, they like Yanasha dude, man. They gonna come get me, you know. Some of us gotta go for this thing. Nigga, you stop doing lessons. You ain't gonna be the one that's gonna go. Your ass gonna turn around and take a C-hip. And you know it. And I see you. You gonna turn around and take a C-hip. Fix your shit out, bro. Fix your shit. You think the ministry needs you. The ministry don't need you. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi don't need you. You need him. He don't need none of us. He don't need none of us, man. You talking about, I got stories I can tell you, brothers. I've been through a lot of shit. Nigga, we all been through a lot of shit. That's what I was trying to tell you and the brother Abriya. But y'all thinking, y'all so damn, y'all been through so much shit that y'all special. Ain't nobody special. We all in this shit together. We all got different crosses to carry. Your cross is not harder than my cross. Your situation is different. It's unique to you. My situation is unique to me. You got to work out your shit on your own. I don't know what y'all want, man. Let me put my charger in. Yeah, he been watching from the outside. The thing is, bro, you should have never just stopped coming around, man. That's the thing. I don't know what's wrong with you. Take the rebuke and stay around. You just disappeared. You stopped doing lessons. That's showing your character. It ain't about us. It ain't about Great Millstone. It ain't about none of that. It's about, are you going to stand boldly for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi regardless? Regardless, man. What comes on you? The thing is, you was like, man, the brotherhood rejected me. I'm going to stop doing lessons. What is that about? That should not be your mindset. All right, let's keep it going. And where was I at? Oh, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And that's what we trying to tell you, brothers, man. Stop saying you this and you that and you this and you that. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi gonna show that you none of that. A wise man knows that he knows nothing at all, man. And change the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible men, and to birds and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Salaki. Wherefore power also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of power into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause power gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the women, burn in their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was met. And you know what that's talking about. All right? But that's also going into effeminateness. Being effeminate, being over emotional. Not knowing how to shut up. You know, a fool is accounted wise if he just closes his lips. A woman is just going to yakety yak, 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 yak. She don't care. She act like it's no repercussions. But a man, you going sit back. A wise man, you going to sit back, observe, and you might not even have to react, bro. It's times where you don't have to react. Just chill. It's the thing. You fell into a lot of traps. Okay? You fell into a lot of traps. Going back and forth with women, jumping in their DMs, all that type of stuff. All right? Being overzealous, being hasty in the comments. You ain't even got 2 years in. You was a baby, man. You was a baby. So, as the brother Nashar said, stop trying to make yourself like you 60-fold or you 100-fold when you 30-fold. Now, can you increase? Yeah, if you come up the correct way. If you come up the right way, the correct way. You can't come in the league and be Jordan off rip. Jordan had to lose. He lost all in the 80s. Didn't Jordan lose? Jordan's great. You could be great, but you still got to learn. You still got to grow. You still got to take heed. You got to come up the correct way. You got to get your ass beat by the Pistons. You know, you got to get pushed down. You got to learn. You got to grow. You got to get in that weight room. You got to build up your stamina. You got to build up your body, build up your endurance. That's all comes from learning, growing, hitting the street, learning how to talk, learning how to deal with people, learning how to control that vexation that you feeling every single day. You think we all not mad? We all mad. But I still got to stand up here and talk to an Edomite. I still got to deal with him with some manner of respect. All right? I still got to break this truth out. I still got to try the spirit. We still got to go through the motions. Verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain power in their knowledge, power gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of power, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. I would never, ever block the elders. And that's the thing with you. You blocked me, Yanasha. That shit is crazy. When you know, bro, I was always there feeding you, helping you, etc., etc. You know? That's why it's like, nah, bro. Shit, same thing. Because it say I got to follow you back. Last time I checked, I didn't never stop following you. But whatever. It's the thing. It's the whatever demon was fucking with you got to you. That demon was trying to take you away from the brotherhood. Who, bro, anything we told you, we tried to help you. We ain't doing that shit to whatever. We might crack jokes. We gonna do that. Hey, we crack jokes in general. We still crack jokes on each other. right? But any type of rebuke or correction we gave to you, that was out of the kindness of our heart to get you right. So by you trying to run away from that or reject it or whatever, that was a demon that was fucking with your mind. And he was like, nah, lead them brothers. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Nakaf don't even like torches no more, man. He left them alone last year. You know? So, but we still gonna get on his head about him. All right, verse 32. Who knowing the judgment of power, that they which can commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. You know, you don't want to. Oh, yeah, Cockerman got poked. Hey, the water Kawam. I forgot about that. Hey, man, but for real though, don't, man. Let's. I'm gonna get this and we gonna wrap it up. All right. This is Revelations 3, and we're gonna start at 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Don't let nobody take your crown. Okay? The correction was given. Take it. You thinking we ain't never got correction? All right? Some of us been in the same position that you was in. All right? And that's Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. That would give you that opportunity to even allow you to be around men of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Man, hey, words is cheap. Time is the ultimate showcase. That's what I'm going to say. Time is the ultimate showcase. All right? You know? So don't let nobody take your crown. I did a lesson upon it. Dang, what was that lesson I did, man? Oh, just teach. Just stop all this other shit. Okay? That go for every new brother, man. Just teach. Bro, you got all the lessons. It's there for you. Okay? Just teach what has been taught. The elders say it all the time. Okay? Just teach what has been taught. Right? You could go to GMS Elders the Milk. You know, I know Cockerman like, yo, he got it. All right, you go to GMS Elders the Milk. You could watch a video. And then you could go and teach it. Bring it out with your type of style, your type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Just teach what has been taught. In a general sense, too. This thing, yeah, Khan, Bakwa Amath, Khan, great page as well. I'll pull that up. So this thing ain't about, yeah, you may have sometimes where you go into personal situations or that, but that ain't really about that. You know? This thing is more so general lessons to edify the sheep, to help the sheep, where you can go back and watch a lesson. It don't matter what time of life, what time of existence you watch that lesson is always edifying. What we do is timeless. This is the thing. What we do is timeless, man. You know, this is a Bakwa Amath. Brother got great breakdowns. Okay? And he does them in order. All right? But as you, I would tell you not to do that, because you need to really learn these precepts. You need to grow. You was trying to do Genesis 1 all the way through, like you going to do the whole book like that. I'm like, nah, bro. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Let the elder brothers do certain things like this. Because all these videos are edifying. All right, it's a proven brother, you know. But you need to teach what's taught. Watch what the elders are teaching. Watch what we talking about. Watch what we bringing out. All right? It's about staying and flowing in that same body. You know? A lot of us addressed the rapture situation because that was something that was going on. Right? A lot of us addressed the Trump speech at the UN. That's something that was going on. A lot of us addressed the Epstein files, you know, they passed a bill to shut them up. You know? So brothers is going to bring out similar lessons. That's the body flowing. What another brother brought out, somebody in your area may not have heard it. So you bring it out, boom, put it out. The word is not going to go out void. All right? And once again, it's not about likes, views, comments, shares, or none of that. Just do what you're supposed to do. Teach what's being taught. All right? So let's end it with Hebrews, the 5th chapter. Verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, right? Ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of power, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. So that sincere milk that we talked about in 2 Peter 2nd chapter. All right. You got to get that milk. If you ain't mastered the milk, you should not be moving on to meat. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. You got to look at yourself and say, I'm unskillful. I can't even control my emotions. I'm letting demons, basic demons, jump on me. Presumptuous demons. I'm letting these things get on me. Man, them brothers really hate me. Them brothers don't like me for real. I'm shamed. Hey, you gonna have that godly sorrow, but that other shit ain't real. It's not like brothers really don't like you. That's not for real. All right? At the end of the day, correction is what? It's a rebuke that's not calmly. So it may not appear beautiful to you. You may not want to hear it. You understand? But it is love, as the brother said. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. Can you discern both good and evil? You may say yes, but the action showed over the past couple of weeks, months, whatever, is that no, you could not. So you want to start over. You want to have that good foundation. You want to come correct. You want to grow. All right? You know, because, hey, it's nothing worse than building a house and it falls down because you didn't build the foundation correct. You know? Kind of. So, hey, man, with that being said, I'll take any type of questions at this point in time. You know, I see a couple new faces, never seen before. Shalawam. If somebody could put the true names of the Father and the Son in the chat, just in case they looking for it. All right. I really got 30 minutes because I got to go in 30 minutes. Right. But any type of questions, we'll take any type of questions for the next, 30 minutes. But if anybody got no questions, then I get up out of here. Anything biblical, anything health-wise, anything, just life in general, we're going to bring it out for in the scriptures for you. Being new, when should I start teaching? Good question. All right. So as the elder apostle Tahar says, 6 months. Okay. But understand, it's not the same for everybody. All right, but in that 6-month span, if you are growing, you watching the lessons, you taking notes, you actually reading, you actually studying, hopefully you fasting, you praying, right? You repenting. Then, by 6 months, you should know a handful of subjects and a handful of topics, a handful of scriptures that should be in your arsenal, So at 6 months, hey, if you feeling that fire on you and you a diligent brother and you can organize a lesson, then go ahead, do your thing. If you come later, 8 months, a year, whatever, it's nothing wrong with that, Make sure you comfortable. Now, don't just wait forever. All right? And we not saying everybody going to be no teacher, okay? Because everybody's not going to be a teacher. But the thing it is, if you're not going to be no teacher, don't assume a teacher's position. Don't be in the comment board trying to teach if you're not going to be a teacher. All right? Don't be a Jordan out here jumping up in lives trying to teach, but you don't got no videos on your YouTube page. Okay? If you want to assume the position of a teacher, then you must teach. And you must teach correctly and properly. According to Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, man. So I would say 6 months, bro. All right? And you pretty good. Like, you pretty, you learning pretty fast. And I'll be seeing your comments and all that. You doing your thing. So just keep doing your thing. Keep growing. All right? I think you and Dev, man, I think y'all going to be some teachers. I hope so. I hope so. Hey, you, Dev, Mr. AI Music, he say he don't want to be a teacher, but that brother knows shit too. Is he in here? Where he at? Nah, he ain't in here. Stay thinking different. I see you trying to put some lessons up. All right, that's what's up, bro. Okay, the sister says, speaking of Ezekiel, you heard of Ezekiel 4:9 bread? You talking about that shit that's in the grocery store? That shit is not even leavened bread. Trust me, sister. Yeah, so let me pull it up. All you gotta do is look at the ingredients. They some liars. Yeah, you talking about this. All right. Yeah, that's not unleavened bread. Okay. So I don't mess with it. What I get is sourdough bread. That's better for you. You thought it was weird? See, yeah, that's the spirit though. All you gotta do is look at those ingredients. I forgot what's in the ingredients, but I looked at it and I was like, this ain't healthy. This ain't good for me. They just using Ezekiel's name. They just using that to push it. But it's not proper. It is defiled bread. Yeah, white bread is trash, exactly. But you could use not sprout, but I said sourdough bread. All right. And bread is, if you get the real type of bread, it's going to mold within a week. All right? It should have mold on it within a week or so. Okay? So, yeah, that sourdough bread, it's going to have mold on it within a week. Look, all them brothers saying it. Sourdough. Sourdough is good. Sour is best. Exactly. All right? Look what the brother said. Apostle Ricard said he didn't want to be a leader, but Yahawah orders our steps. Yeah, the brother said stay away from monoglyceride. Right? And yeah, man, like, bro, it's you don't know where Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi gonna take you. Cause to be honest, bro, I don't like dealing with people. I'm an introvert. I don't like dealing. I don't like being in large crowds. I don't like none of that, But I feel comfortable bringing out lessons and teaching on the street. I feel comfortable in those avenues. But I don't like dealing with people. People annoy me. I'm what y'all call a misanthrope or whatever. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? The brother said, I feel the same. If it be Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi's will, then I'll teach. Khan. I believe so. You did a little snippet the other day, and you was going into it. All right. Basically on why. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go get it because the brother said some good points. Let me go find it. What the hell? Oh my good. This is shit that you don't do, man.
For the sake of time.
This shit you don't do.
Very good for you.
He told that chick. And you notice when you see these chicks, when they don't be coming in the live no more, they on bullshit. I'm about to unfollow her, man. I'm done, bro. All right, but here go the brothers. Here go the brothers. Here go the brother video.
How do we come so far as a society where we still feel the need to produce as much as we produce, rather than having AI produce the things that we need just for basic living, and have people actually live, spend time with family, explore the world as we all should be able to? It shouldn't be a man-made thing like money that allows you to explore something that God made like the world. I should be able to walk wherever I want to walk without it being a law saying I can't. I should be able to cross whatever border I want to cross without them saying I need to show this or show that. I get if you need to fly in a plane, things like that, but if I'm using my feet or I'm using a bike, not even a motorized bike, it shouldn't be nowhere I'm not able to go in this world. It's just ridiculous how much they want to control everything you do. But everything they do behind closed doors, we have no say in the matter.
And that was great, man, because that goes back to the world was made for our sakes. All right. Let's get that. This is 2nd Ezra 6:1. And he said unto me in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood. No, that's not it. 7th chapter. All right. 2nd Ezra 7:11. I'm gonna read a little bit of it. I made this world for their sake, but when Adam broke my commands, the world came under my judgment. Then the entrances into the world were made narrow and difficult to travel. They were rough, dangerous, and few in number. So that's why we in these positions, because we sin. And more so, one that more says it clearer is what? Is it 2nd Ezra 14 maybe? No, 2nd Ezra. It's at the tip of my tongue too. 6 and 50. 6 and 50. We're going to start up here. All right. Upon the 6th day, thou gave a commandment unto the earth that before thee it shall bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam, also whom thou madest, Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So that's talking about Yahawashi, that's Adam, and the Israelites, the people that are chosen, a chosen nation. All this have I spoken before thee, O Yahawah, because thou madest the world for our sakes. So going back to the brother Dev's video, right? You just want to walk and go everywhere and do all of that type of stuff. Yeah, that's how we feel. Like I shared, brothers, a video of Iceland. No, not Iceland, but New Zealand. I said, if you can't find me in the kingdom, I'm in New Zealand. because it's so beautiful. You know, Iceland also. You know, they name Iceland, but it's full of grass. They name Greenland, but it's full of ice. You know, and that's because Esau is wicked. All right, Greenland was named by this dude Eric the Red, a Edomite, Eric the Red. He named Greenland, but it's full of ice to confuse people and trick people. That's how they are. But you know, the wicked rules the earth at this point in time. You know, so that's Micah 2:10 coming into play, where this is not our rest. And you would think in a logical society, we would no longer be using money and things of that nature. We would just be moving in, living off the earth, living like that, right? How you go back, if you ever watched it, bro, the Incans. Look at the Incan societies, all right? Asher, Naphtali. You go and look at Inca, they didn't use money. They used work. They used labor to pay for everything. So what you had was automatically yours, like your land and stuff. And you had to work it. You had to till it. You had to cultivate it. So they didn't use money as a form of payment. They had so much gold, but they didn't look at it as currency. Who looks at gold as currency? Hit it in the comment board. Who looks at gold as currency? Exactly. Esau. That's the only individual that looks at gold as currency like that, man. All right? You know? So, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about since 1933. No one. But Esau bases his currency off of gold. That's what you have with the BRICS nation, a gold standard. All right? So when they came over to South America, Jake was like, oh, you like this gold? You want this? Oh, we give you all of it. They gave him a lot. They had so much. It didn't matter to them. Okay? Yeah, we know what happened with the Federal Reserve Act, most definitely. That destroyed the country. All right? But still, in a sense, the Edomites look at gold as currency because of what? The BRICS nation, a gold standard. All right? Fort Knox, gold. Okay? They use gold as a currency. And that's what we're stating. Okay? We didn't have pieces of paper, things of that nature. What did we do? We traded. All right? Hey, you want this? Okay, I'm going to give you a bear skin. You want this? All right, I'm going to give you some potatoes. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. What you need, bro? I got what you need. You got what I need. Let's trade. That's how Gad, Reuben got down. That's how Issachar, Asher, Naphtali got down, etc., etc. You know? So let's go to Micah 2. And we pretty much done. But let's go to Micah 2:1 and 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand, and they covert fields, and take them by violence in houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So Esau comes through with war, and they oppress you. They knock you down. They take your peaceful life that you once had, and they bring you low. Okay? Now, understanding this, when they came to South America, the Incans, they was fighting. They had a civil war. The brothers was fighting each other. All right? You can watch this. It's on YouTube. You can study it. You can get a book. You can read about it. You can go on Google and see about it. All right? So they were already divided. And the Inca nation, boy, it was millions. It was a huge nation. All right? Peru, Argentina, Chile. Okay? So they were already divided. So Esau easily came in and pitted them one against another and took them out. It was really like another Maccabean type of situation. You know, if you really go into it and watch the story on how it unfolded, because they were fighting guerrilla warfare against them and stuff. The same with Issachar, the Aztecs. They were already divided. All right. Is GG? Make sure. Okay. They were already divided. So when Cortez came in, all he had to do was get the individuals that were oppressed and pit them against the so-called royal Aztecs. And he had Jake take down Jake. He always does this. He repeats. He always will get one Jake to take down another Jake. Hence, Crips and Bloods, GDs, BDs, etc., etc. You know? Exactly. He capitalizes on division. You know? So, hey, man. We're going to wrap it up. Should you teach or should you be a teacher, etc.? But this is why when you're going to talk about our tribes, you're going to talk about our people, you need to know the history of our people. You need to know who our people are. Okay? Do seers exist today? Yes, indeed, sister. Did my wife just have a dream? All right? Don't brothers have dreams? We see brothers have dreams every single day. You see dreams coming out constantly. That's Yahawah communicating. When you have dreams, you're supposed to relay those dreams. I think people thought like the prophets was like, oh, you want a word from the Lord? Okay, let me go talk to him right now. Let me go talk to him. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, he said next week at 3:00, you and they want that Miss Cleo mess. That's divination. Okay? So seers are prophets. All right? And it is a such thing as a prophetess, but that's a woman that sings a song, okay? Or a woman that has a dream, and she relays it unto the prophets. Look at Rebecca. What did she do? She went to the prophets to get some understanding on what was going on in her life. So, when you have these type of things going on, you want to know, or you have a dream, you go to the prophets. Like the sister, like you yourself, Cupcake, you relayed a dream to us that you had about chaos and, all this stuff going on. So that's Joel 2 and 27, 28, 29. The spirit being poured out upon all flesh, which is Israel. And then the prophets are going to relay it. How are we going to relay it? We're going to go to the scriptures and we're going to bring it out. We're going to touch on the scriptures and bring it out. So yeah, a seer is most definitely a prophet. All right. In Jacob's trouble, I believe through spiritual powers, it will be heightened. Brothers will have a more direct communication with Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, being able to, heal off command. All right. We call on the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, just place our hands and heal, things of that nature. All right. Because let's get Isaiah 59 and 19. For anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm not just talking crazy. This is Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of Yahawah from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahawah shall lift up a standard against him. So that's talking about lifting up and bringing in spiritual powers, lifting up a standard. It's not talking about being carnal and giving everybody pew-pews and ammunition. No. It's lifting up a spiritual standard so that we will be able to protect ourselves. All right? No, not to fight back. All right? Because when are we going to fight back? After we have those everlasting bodies. Okay? Then we going to come back and fight back. Right now, we just going to sit back and let Esau take out Esau. Okay? So, furthermore, answering the question, do seers exist? Yes, I just prophesied right there. But what is a prophecy? I'm coming directly from the prophecies. Because a house divided cannot stand. So I'm coming directly from the word. And I'm relaying it to the people. That's what prophesying is. It ain't me coming out of nowhere saying, hey, this gonna happen next year, man. At 3:37, on January 7th, we gonna be raptured. Nigga, you stupid. Alright? That's false. What does it say? Those that prophesy vain divinations of their own mind. I'm gonna get that 1 Samuel 9:9, and then I gotta get up out of here. Let me get that Job 20 and 23 first, though. When he is about to fill his belly, power shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. This is how we know, and this is how we tell you individuals. This ain't the time yet. Esau got to be about to fill his belly. That means that his beast system has to be operating. The chip has to be mandatory. He has to have 15-minute cities. He has to have martial law declared. All this type of stuff must happen. All right? So keep that in mind. So then that's how we could tell them dudes is false prophets, man. Because you prophesying of something that the scriptures don't even talk about. This is 1 Samuel 9:9. Before time, in Israel, when a man went to inquire of power, thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. Perfect. That's it. And that's in the KJV, but that's it right there. All right, so, hey, man, I got to get up out of here. I told you I had 30 minutes, so that's it. I pray that this lesson was edifying and everything for everybody that came through. Hey, if you new, Yahawah, that means Lord willing. Follow the page and keep tapping in, man. All right, to keep getting fed. If you usual, hey, you already know what to do, man. A great lesson. A Halalyam Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. That's all praises to the Most High and to His Son. Okay. The sister said quickly, is it wrong to say amen? All right. Now in Hebrew it's aman, which means it is done. All right. So no, I'm not gonna say it's wrong to say amen or aman. I say aman in the Hebrew because there's no e in Hebrew. So we say aman, right? And I'm saying we by Great Millstone, okay? Because, some brothers on here may say that it's wrong to say amen and Lord, all right? But at Great Millstone, GMS and affiliates, we can say aman and we can say Lord because we know we're not talking about Baal, okay? We're talking about Yahawah or we're talking about Yahawashi, all right? So, that's Great Millstone's understanding of it. All right, that's the correct way. We're not gonna be over righteous, right? But if another brother teaching, that might be how their camp is moving. All right, that'll be a little minor thing. But if his whole doctrine is good, then okay, Because when we say amen, we ain't talking about no amen ra. All right, we saying aman mean it is done. That's what we're saying. Right? So, hey, with that being said, hey, facing the east, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Great Millstone that rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and a Baba to this wicked nation. May Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi destroy this bitch yesterday. All right, I pray this was an edifying lesson. Hey, Shalawam to my brother Yaram Gabar, man. You late? Yeah, Shalawam, bro. Let me make you a mod over here, man. Brother got some beautiful lessons. All right. Who that? Asaya? All right, man. So, hey, Shalawam. Shalawam.